specifically.
Be mommy.
All
And
three of us.
you know what? It was worse for us because mommy was a teacher
Right.
back home in Ghana.
Right.
So it wasn't just that education is important to Africans, it's the fact that like it's important to her.
Yeah, and
you
she
know what I
felt
mean?
like education got her through
Exactly,
many
through
obstacles
whatever
in
her
life.
obstacles were, so it should be able to get us through, which is fair. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Cynthia, and this is a place where we believe in people, in purpose, and in poetry. So you guys, happy March! We are finally here, y'all. Well, I guess I should say that I get really excited around this time of the year because there's so much to celebrate at the beginning of the year. Like we had January. I know a lot of people were saying that January was a long month for them, but like it was great for me. It was like a new beginning. Then February rolls around. We're celebrating Black people, like Black History Month. Hello. We're celebrating love. We're celebrating so many beautiful things in February. And now we're in March, y'all. It's Women's History Month. Ghana Independence Day coming up on March 6th. And then on March 21st is actually World Poetry Day. Like if there was ever a month that encompasses everything that I am, March would be it. Like, hello. I am African. More specifically, I'm a proud Ghanaian woman. For all my Ghanaians watching,
Honesty out, let's go.
we all know that Ghana is the best African country and that we have the best jollof rice. So in March, I have so much in store. So don't forget to stay tuned, plugged in, and subscribe below. Y'all, subscribing is free. It literally costs nothing. Plus, I've set a personal goal for myself to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know y'all probably looking at me like I'm crazy, but y'all don't know the God I serve, okay? So in today's video, I'm discussing all about how my African mom told me that I didn't have a choice but to become a lawyer. It's such a stereotype. I mean, so many people have heard it before, but I feel like often when we hear it, it's glazed over and it's like something that we say in passing. It's never something that I've seen actually discussed in depth. So I want to tell you guys my story with this particular stereotype and how I overcame it. If there's anyone watching who's African, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I also talked about it briefly in my TED Talk that I did at Drew University that I'll actually link right above because I feel like it's such a huge part of my story. One of the biggest challenges that African kids face is in what career we will have. The options really only include law, doctor, nurse. It's only recently that, these categories have expanded to like pharmacy, engineering, and like being the manager of some Fortune 500 company. But for the most part, we're really only limited to law and medicine. That's because education is extremely important to Africans, y'all, especially to my mom. She was a teacher back home in Ghana, and then when she migrated to America, she went back to school to officially become a nurse practitioner. So she set the bar high. But it's 10 o'clock. Like, hello? Hey, Ma. Yeah. Why did you just text me telling me to call her? Is she trying to call you? Is she trying to call you right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right, bye. For most of us African millennials, we actually do end up following these career paths. Like there are some African doctors, African lawyers who are very successful. And then there are people like me. I decided to be like, I think the worst thing that I could ever tell my mom. Maybe I should take that back because I didn't decide to be a poet. Like I really do think that it's purpose to my life. But a lawyer compared to a poet, because it wasn't like I told my mom I didn't want to be a lawyer so that I could be a nurse or so that I could be the manager of the Fortune 500 company. I literally told her, hey mom, I don't want to be a lawyer and instead I want to be a writer. Shorty was like, you want to be a what? What damn? So I'm first generation Ghanaian American. Similar to a lot of other immigrant stories, my mother brought my siblings and I over to America for a better opportunity and for a better life. Actually, come to think of it, as far back as I can remember, I've always been good with language. And I remember my mom always telling me that, like, I said I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a kid. And so I think that just manifested in my life. So when I grew up and went to undergrad, I just ran with it. When someone asked me the infamous question, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always answered a lawyer. So I went to undergrad and signed up for all pre-law classes. I even joined a professional pre-law fraternity where I was with other like-minded students who also wanted to go to law school so that we can help each other. And then when it was time to actually take the LSAT to get into law school, I bombed it, y'all. Total failure. I don't do well with failure. So I remember telling myself, okay, City, take a year off to study for the LSAT. So I graduated undergrad with a political science degree and used the year to actually study for the LSAT. I bombed that LSAT again. I mean, I told myself, like, all right, maybe City, yeah, this ain't what you're supposed to do. Just let it go. And it's so funny because the summer of that year, which was 2013, I had performed a poem, a wedding poem at my brother's wedding. And I just remember getting so much love and just good vibes and good feedback from that particular performance. And I remember taking a step back and actually telling myself, like, City, what would happen if you actually did poetry? Poetry had always been a part of my life, by the way. I had always performed in high school, had been a part of national recitation competitions, performed all throughout undergrad, and it was this hobby that I had, but I never thought that it could be something that I could make a career out of. So I went to my mom and I told her, like, palms sweaty and all, like, I told her, Mom, I think like I should be a poet. And I got my ass kicked. She didn't actually really kick my ass though, but I remember her calling me a demon for sure. It was an automatic no. Like, she shut it down. There were no negotiations, there were no conversations. She was basically like, absolutely not. You're not about to embarrass me in front of all of my friends. These prestigious careers, let me say, is not really for, I mean, there is some sort of emphasis on us succeeding, but it's not really for us, right? It's for them. It's bragging rights. So that they can tell their friends in the community that they've done a really good job parenting, so much so that their kid has become a doctor or a lawyer.
My daughter's a lawyer. And by the way, what was
What
it?
is your?
Yeah, junior for school.
Recently went back to go get my MFA in poetry. At a time, really, I graduated with my MFA in poetry at a time, really, when I should have been graduating with my law degree. And I just felt like it was such a pivotal moment for me, and such a pivotal moment for my career, to have done this thing that I set my mind to, that I believe I've been purposed in doing, and that I have a gift in doing, as opposed to doing something that the world or that my mom thinks that I should do. And I really truly think that she's proud of me. And there's power in that, y'all. There's power in defining yourself for yourself, in taking back your happiness from the people who want to define it for you. I always say that I've been given an opportunity to write and to be the best version of myself because of how much my African mom sacrificed for me to be here. Little does my mom know, the certainty she put into me being a lawyer, I'm putting that same certainty into me becoming a successful poet. Ma, if you're watching this video, love you. Don't kill me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know your thoughts on your African parents. Like, what did your mom or dad tell you to be when you were growing up? Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video. We're living our best lives, quote unquote. We're taking these risks because they paved the way.
We are literally their investment. We are their investment.
Sure.
We don't want to gamble with their investments.
I get that.
They're not risk takers when it comes to that.
I get
like,
that.
I put all my money in my stock into this thing. It's gonna work.
And this is the career that is going to be working. Once again, totally understand that. Like, I get that, but
I'm not arguing.
we're
with you.
miserable.
Yeah. I'm not arguing with you about it. I'm just saying, just know that we are literally walking investments.